first off, I just wanted to follow up on what Chris was talking about. Little League is definitely, in my opinion, obviously the greatest youth organization there is, and without being a part of that, we obviously wouldn't have had the opportunity to be here this August and playing in the World Series. Just want to start off by showing a few pictures. Here we are after winning the district tournament, a long way from Williamsport at that point. Here we are after sectionals, and here we are arriving at the state tournament. Now, we've had a lot of teams from Keystone make it to states, and here's the banner at the state tournament, which for our community has always been a dream to just get that state championship and move on to Bristol and get that whole next level of experience. It was at the state tournament, I think, after we made the finals, where the community said to themselves, you know, this just isn't another great run by one of our teams. This is something special, and I think that's when they all kind of got behind us. The finals on Friday evening, there was 1,000 people there from Clinton County, and at that time we thought that was amazing. We didn't know what was to come, obviously. But after we lost Friday night, returning 24 hours later, the kids were down, and I think when they arrived and saw, everyone showed back up the next day to say, you know, we have faith in you guys, and we're here to support you no matter what. That was big to them, and obviously big in getting the state championship. And here we are after the state championship. At that point, Keystone Little League's biggest victory. After states, to me, the community really got behind us in the best way they could at that point, and that was financially, as we were getting ready to head to Bristol for 10 days, and the amount of money that it takes to stay in a hotel and pay for those rooms and pay for food for your whole family that's there is pretty substantial. And we were pretty packed after we won Saturday afternoon. Sunday we were going to luncheons to get checks from people. Sunday evening, as you see on the bottom, we were at the I can't remember what it's called, on the river as they passed the bucket around to boats and just raised over $1,000 there. It was just amazing. Monday we were on the radio letting people know where they could send money, and Tuesday we had a big hot dog roast, and 600 people came out to watch the kids practice and just say good job and good luck in Bristol. And then Wednesday we had a big pep rally. As Thursday we headed off to Bristol. So it was a lot of work as we were trying to get ready to participate and compete. We were still trying to raise those funds to help ourselves out in Bristol. Here we are arriving in Bristol and participating in the opening ceremonies. The Keystone Tunnel, as it says there, was, in my opinion, a great way to the community to kind of say, we're a part of this, and for the team to say, we want you to be a part of this. After every game we played, after the kids shook hands and we talked to them, they got their bags packed, the parents and community members would line up, and the kids would run through slapping hands as they went. And it's something they had done for years, but obviously as we were at states, the tunnel grew after every win. And to me, after we lost again that Friday night game, to see that all the people came down and still did that, the kids coming out, you could see the smiles on their faces as after that loss, saying, you know what, these people are behind us no matter what. And as you see on the bottom, it continued in Bristol, as we had a great fan base there too. It was amazing to me, being obviously not one of the closest states up in Bristol, to have, other than the team from Connecticut, the most fans there. When we played in the finals, there were 2 full buses that came from Lock Haven just to watch that game, and to have that type of support up there really meant a lot to us. Here we are, finally winning the Mid-Atlantic Championship, top 16 team in the world, and finally realizing that dream, and we're headed to Williamsport. The opening ceremonies at the World Series was a great parade of champions, but I think anyone who got to see any of our parades, they were pretty special. We started them right after we won districts. We had one after sectional states, but the parade when we won the regional was amazing, and that's when the community went from Clinton County to surrounding counties in the state, anyone that could be close to this parade. We won Monday morning in Bristol. By 6 p.m. we were in Williamsport, and when we pulled in, there were dozens and dozens of fire trucks and ambulances and just people there to say, welcome home. And this was as we were being led to the World Series. They actually had to call the Little League headquarters and say, can we do this? Because they didn't want to show favoritism to one team, but the community, I think, was going to do it no matter what. They were pretty excited to have a team, obviously this close, be there. And this was kind of like we were still in awe. We had just won, and now we were coming back on a bus, and we're coming down the road, and the kids are like, wow, look at that, and look at that. And it was amazing to them. And then the parade, to me, where everything kind of hit home was the Grand Slam parade here in Williamsport. As we started off, we were still enjoying the moments and everything, and as we got closer to downtown, the crowd grew, and at one point, it didn't become a cheer, it became a roar, literally, and that's when it hit home, and I couldn't even speak to Coach Garbrick, who was sitting right beside me. It got so loud, so that was where it hit home to me. We knew there was going to be a large crowd for our first game. Obviously, when they moved it from Volunteer over to Lomini Stadium, we figured that. But when we walked under Lomini and came out to the dugouts, and you looked up and you couldn't even see the outfield grass, it was just people. And then we heard it was 41,848 and broke the single game record for attendance. That says it all right there. If you want to talk about the community and this team, that says it all right there in one game. For them to come out like that is unbelievable. And after 5 games, we had over 150,000 people at all of our games. So that says it all, as I said, right there. Again, the fans not only were making signs and came out to all the games, but after we beat Rhode Island, our first victory at the World Series, I was talking to people at home, and they were saying you couldn't even walk down Main Street of Lock Haven. There were signs in all the windows and everything like that, and everyone was talking about it. So it really gripped the whole community, and that's all people were talking about at that time. Also, another way that the community came out and showed their appreciation was obviously the merchandise at Williamsport. After we arrived, by the next morning, they were completely sold out of Mid-Atlantic jerseys, shirts, hats. I think they reordered 4 or 5 different times, so that was a big part of it, just for them to come out and show their support. After it was all said and done, we were 3-2, and when we lost out on Thursday evening, Friday we kind of woke up and we're just kind of regrouping from the whole experience, and we let everyone know we were coming home at about 1 that day, and by 7 o'clock, there was about 30,000 people in downtown Lock Haven just to say welcome home and great job. And again, that just says it all right there, that in that short amount of time, everyone would come out and say great job. Since everything's kind of slowed down and we've been done on the field, things haven't slowed down off the field, believe me. We were, at one point, we're doing something every night. But it became a big part of this to let the community feel like they were a part of it. They were obviously enjoying what we were doing, but we wanted them to feel a part of this. And so that's why, no matter how many autographs needed to be signed or no matter how many events they wanted us to go to, we've accepted that all, and we will continue to, just so the community can keep that feeling as long as we can let them have that. To me, if you look back and to wrap things up, you could just say that, this whole summer was, it started with 11 kids and parents, and they had some goals. They knew what they wanted to accomplish, but it was kind of a small group of people wanting to do something, and it turned into, by the time we got to Williamsport, 11 kids and coaches saying, you know what, this is really something special. We want the community to be a part of it, and when we got on the national stage, we wanted to show the world what our community was all about, show them what kind of kids we have, and we hope we made everyone proud. We certainly had a great time. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's something that I'll obviously never forget, and neither will anyone that was involved. So, thank you.